It's a beautiful, beautiful day here for the first day of June. Hopefully it is.
Where you are, it's just as nice. I hope you all enjoyed your Memorial weekend.
Yeah.
It was
Sonia, did they call
nice.
it the burrito? Did they call it that? She says the Great British Sewing Bee used the burrito technique on TV.
Did they use it on a pillowcase, those pillowcase dresses or something that they did? I watched, I think, almost every episode of The Great British Sewing Bee on YouTube as reruns, not
There's only been one. There's been multiple, right?
several
Yeah,
seasons,
yeah.
several seasons, and a couple of different hosts, which made it very interesting. Um, yeah, I liked the format of their show. It was interesting.
She said yes, and they used it for a shirt.
They did
They
use it
d-
for sure.
and they did call it the burrito. Was it that lady? Wasn't it that lady that wrote you? Or was that a different show? That she.
No, that was a French woman that wrote me and
Oh.
said she won the French equivalent to Project Runway and attributed some of her win to having taken Islander sewing systems and being able to sew a little bit faster and still be efficient, which is what a challenge like that would require. But no, I never talked to anybody with the British. But the British is not like Project Runway. It's a lot more low key. The prizes are, if I'm not mistaken, quite a bit smaller. It's more about bragging rights. I think they get a trophy. Where Project Runway, they get like half a
All
million
kinds of
dollars,
ridiculous stuff.
ridiculous cash prizes. And however, the people that are
Spot
on,
in Fashion Week and
yeah, well, and the people that are on the British sewing bee are not necessarily anybody who's trying to become a
right.
professional.
They're just competing.
They're competing. They're amateur sewers, or well, they're very good. A lot of them, but they are hobbyists more than aspiring to be professional. So it's a whole different feeling. But I thought it was great. I think that they work as a group and they encourage each other. It was very positive information. But incidentally, if they use the term burrito, it is very fun for us to hear that because the term burrito technique was truly 100% invented in an Islander sewing systems class. And it really isn't as accurate as a technique if you called it a burrito, because it really isn't. But there was a Latina woman in the class, and she was having a hard time understanding the concept of this technique, and she's the one who nicknamed it the burrito technique, so she would always remember that she needed to have
It was
something.
like this light bulb moment went off.
Yes.
She's like, oh, the filling, like a burrito.
Exactly, it has to have a filling. So we've used it for 40 years in our classes, and we always like to use the term, if you don't have a filling, it's only a tortilla. So when we're walking around in class and somebody's forgot to fill the space, we say, oh, nope, you have a tortilla, and they know what we mean. And so, but it's totally germane to Islander sewing systems. And I've even one time saw somebody write an article, and unfortunately, they gave away their lack of professionalism by trying to claim they were professionals and they had learned the burrito technique in the garment factory. Well, busted, because no, they don't have names for their techniques in the garment factory.
You got the zipper,
Yeah,
the
you
staller, the sleeve
Yeah,
setter, and the burritoer.
Yeah, it's just not a thing. But anyway, so that's just a little trivia about the burrito technique. But it is an excellent technique, and once you learn it, you can put cuffs and collars on and waistbands that always look nice at the corners. That's where we all have that little problem, getting the fabric turned up in there and having a nice square look at the collar center front or at the waistband where the zipper connects. It's difficult with home sewing methods. So learning the burrito technique is a really good idea because it will solve all those little spots, those issues.
And where did you say you're watching what platform are you using to watch the
Well,
British?
I did use YouTube, but I think they took it off.
Oh, okay. Because that's what they're saying,
And
that they can't find the last 2 seasons.
yeah, and I think I heard something just briefly on a news program one day, and I'm gonna guess, so don't quote me on this, but the people that were putting them up there didn't have the authority to put them up there. They belong to the producers of that show. And because I noticed every time I go to watch an episode, some of the episodes would be in the similar format. And then all of a sudden I'd come to an episode that was in a really weird format and the screen was really small. Very odd. But it's because somebody put it up. They didn't really have all the knowledge of getting it up there correctly, but they got it up there. And but I think they got taken down.
Yeah.
That's my...
All right.
Well, if they ever come back, they were good fun to watch, and I would leave them on while I'm working in the studio. Yeah.
All right. No, Debbie, you haven't missed anything. We're just,
We're just chatting.
chatting. Already got off topic without getting on.
Yeah.
We are very talented.
It's a new milestone.
How will we ever exceed? Okay, so if you've been with us for the last few weeks, we've been doing our Baja Reveals from the challenge that Janet gave us. We have since challenged you to make a Baja with whatever changes that you want to make to it. We've talked so much about this, but just in case, there's always somebody, you have to use the Baja pattern and one of the 3 striped knit fabrics on our website, navy, orange, or the turquoise behind us. Brenda did an awesome job with, she did a few different changes, but her biggest one is putting the inset in the sleeve.
And reducing the sleeves to 3/4 length for more of a summery top.
Janet changed hers to a zip up.
Mine's a jacket now, not just a pullover, but a zip up jacket with a 2-way zipper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
a split pocket.
Oh, and anything else?
Oh, and I lined the hood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was just giving the overview, but if you would like to go on.
Facings. I put facings in on. Yeah. Okay, I'm done.
And
the zipper shield.
anything else?
Nope.
And I made mine into a sleeveless beach cover up. I kept the hood and I kept the pocket, nixed the sleeves, and made it longer. And Cassie said she did guess yours because of the zipper. So if you wanted to go back, all of our videos stay here on Facebook, and you can see we did the reveal, and then for the past 3 weeks we have shown who did what and how we did it. And Janet has also sent out newsletters about it. But all of you have until June 15th to post your entry on our Facebook page. And then the following Tuesday, we will announce the winner of a $100 gift card to Islander Sewing Systems.
I want to caution you too, because if you are going to enter the challenge, whether you post your item or not, I still invite you to challenge yourself. You don't have to, if you don't want to, show the whole world what you did. But if it's really successful, you just might want to. And you will inspire some of the rest of us.
Even if it's kind of successful.
Yeah. And that's funny. But I do want everyone to know that you do have time. Like Jessica said, it's the 15th. So you've got time because it's only a couple-hour project without changes.
Without changes.
Yeah. But we have enough fabric in the 3 colors to do about 3 kits each.
Of each color.
Of each color. So don't hesitate to get your kit. And like we said, if you buy the kit, you're going to get a discount. So you're going to, everything is all in the kit that you need. You can either buy the deluxe kit or the Baja Lovers Kit. You can read what's in them, and then you're ready to go when the kit arrives. So you'll have time. You'll have 2 weeks. So if you got it by the end of this week, you'd still have another week and a half to stitch it up and make your changes.
Yeah, and you don't have to send it to us or anything. So you just have to put the picture on our Facebook page. It could be on you or the person you made it for, or it could be on a dress form. So you don't have to worry about us checking out your finishing.
Don't lay it on the bed. Don't lay it over a chair. Those just aren't going to show your work in a good light. It looks good to you because you know how good it looks in person, but the rest of us are looking at a shirt laying on a bed. It really doesn't bring it to life and give us the best look for your item. So dress form or on a person are the best ways to show off your item.
So you have all the way to the 15th to post that onto our Facebook page. And we're really excited. We have our first 2 entries, and we know that there's more, but our first 2 official entries that have been posted on our Facebook page, we are super excited about. Our very, very first was Sherry Gregory.
Who else?
Yeah. And I super love what she did. I want you guys to go to the Facebook page and check these out. They're under posts by community members, or it's different on everybody's thing, but posts by fans, posts in the community or whatever. But go to the Facebook page and check out Sherry's. She I know Janet is super proud of Sherry because she's been with us a while. She came to our social event when we were putting those on, and she's really come a long way. And she said this was the first time that she ever tried to modify.
Yeah, and you wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it. She did a beautiful job. She added a band of ribbing to the bottom as well as to the bottom of the sleeves.
The cuffs, yep.
And she did that really cute trim on the pocket. Did you notice she put trim on? On the pocket opening, she put the same bias trim that she
I did see she made the bias trim.
Yeah.
So I really love the idea of having that band at the bottom. It makes it more of kind of a blouse or a shirt than a pullover. So I thought that was really cool. So go check that out. And then Teresa had hers up there. She made it for her daughter, and her daughter goes or graduated, I believe, from Virginia Tech, and their colors are orange and maroon. So she used the orange stripe fabric but lined the hood with the maroon for the Virginia Tech colors. She did a chevron on the front for the top half. You have to see it. I'm not going to be able to explain it properly, but the top part has a really cool chevron. So those are our first 2 official.
Yeah, she did piping along the bottom of the chevron too, to the divider there. But yeah, great, and what a great concept to incorporate the college colors too. So that was fun. So there, I hope that some of these things are like, light bulbs are going off and you think, oh yeah, I could make that for so-and-so, or I could, use those colors for a specific person. So anyway, we're hoping a few more of you join in the fun, because the more the merrier, obviously. And we had a ton of fun making ours. And I did you?
Moderate amount of fun. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was. I learned a lot, and I came out with a garment that I can and will wear, which was, for me, like, you guys get to pick your fabric and everything. Janet challenged us here by just giving it to us, and I still love it. Yeah. So I think that that's great. And you can do the same, but you get to pick your fabric, and you don't have to, it doesn't have to be all the striped fabric. You can incorporate other fabrics. You just have to use it in some way.
I had never put a zipper shield in before. It never even occurred to me. I've never seen a pattern with one in it, and it never occurred to me. And so I thought that was a great challenge. And like I'm always telling you, I did exactly what I tell you to do, and that is I took my lead from ready to wear. There was no pattern that I know of. Maybe in a green pepper pattern or something, they might have the zipper shield. But generally, in your basic commercial patterns, no one thinks to put those in there. And so I just looked at ready to wear and I copied what I saw in ready to wear. I basted it together to make sure I was right. And then when I was sure I had it where I wanted it, sealed it in there. So that was a new experience. And it's kind of fun to do something new and then be successful at it. You've just added one more trick to your bag of tricks.
Sorry, I just wanted to give them the link to the kits. If they're still interested in joining.
Yeah, if you already have the Baja pattern, we have a kit called the Baja Lovers Kit because it includes the fabric and the tie for the hood. And it's discounted, so you'll pay less than you would if you just went and bought the yardage. So, and you'll have the tie, whether you want to use it or not, you'll have it. And then we have the deluxe kit, which includes the pattern, the tie, the fabric, and the 2 types of stay tape. Well, the stay tape for the shoulder and the double-sided tape for the hems. And the pocket, that really comes in handy. So if you don't have those extra elements, then consider the deluxe kit. And like I said, we put all the products together in the kit and then we subtract about 20% or more. So you get a really good deal that way as well.
Yes, Sean, I can do that. Jillian, entries are on our Facebook page. I don't want to give you exact directions how to find it because it's really different depending on what device you are using. But typically you can find it under posts, just general posts. But if you have a hard time, shoot me a message on Facebook and I can help you out. Okay, don't know about that.
Facebook is always changing things too, so sometimes it was there, and as Brenda and I always say, somebody moved the cheese. So it was posts on mine for a long time, and now on my laptop, the link is called Community. That's all it's called.
Yeah.
So it could be a number of things. You just kind of have to be not afraid to click around.
Click around. Yeah, and then of course if you're on your phone, different apps are different and depending on your device. So Sean has asked, and I'll show you. Let me finish talking, Sean, and then I'll show you. She has asked to see mine again, the cover up.
Okay.
So I'm going to show you that. But what we're going to do, if you need a little bit more inspiration for this challenge or just the Baja in general, we brought out some other samples. And I have a few back behind there too, Janet. So the 3 that we used for the challenge are our challenge entries. But we're not in the contest. You know what I mean.
It was still a challenge. Just wasn't a prize.
Yeah, I'm blanking on the word. So Brenda's was this teal one here with the really cool insert and she made the sleeve the 3/4. Janet's is the zipper with the shield, and then Sean has asked to see this one was mine, Sean, and we have a whole episode. It would be 2 weeks ago for that. And again, I did the hood. I didn't line it. I was just going for casual swim cover up. I didn't put the string in either.
So then she didn't have to make the buttonholes.
I mean, that's not why I didn't put it in.
But it's time saving.
But yeah, and it was like, I don't need that. It would be cute though. But I tend to, lose those in the washing machine. And the kid's probably going to pull it out on the beach and then it sits forever. I left the pocket and...
But you put the stripes contrasting,
yes.
So that's interesting. Adds a little interest.
I thought it added a little interest instead of it all, especially because it's so long.
Yeah.
I would have matched it so it would blend in and it would have looked good. But I thought because it's so long with the stripe, give it a little bit of contrast. So hopefully that helps.
And you left the split in the side, but Sean, you could do that split any length. You could go
Yes.
all the way up to your hip if you wanted, or if you want more modesty, you can just leave it at the 6-inch.
Well, and since I pulled that
And
one
you
out,
lengthened that, didn't you lengthen that one, or did you leave it the length? Yeah,
my whole swim cover up?
yeah.
Yeah.
You lengthened it.
Yeah, 6
Yeah.
inches.
Yeah, it's in the video and the newsletter from 2 weeks ago, what she did.
But since they're showing that swim cover up, we have this as an example as well that Janet made for a fashion show.
And this
Why
one,
don't you tell them about
this
one's
one I
very
did
long.
keep a very high slit. And it was for the drama. It was going to be on the runway. I guess we could have even gone higher on that slit.
Well, this
like
one
I
is
said.
much longer than mine, and it doesn't have the stretch like
Right,
the knit does.
Right. This is silk, and it's like a silk crinkle, like almost pleated. And I don't know why I was lucky enough to find the crinkle in the hot pink there, but that wasn't a silk. I think that's just a polyester, but it looks so good in there. We grabbed it. But not many changes on that one. I think we probably narrowed the sleeve, it looks like.
You think?
Maybe.
It's a small.
It's been years. It's been too long. And that white one that you're standing next to was in the same fashion show, but that one was on a man and this one was on the woman.
Sean's asking, do you serge all the seams?
No, it depends on what fabric you're making it out of, Sean. Side seams can be serged or pressed flat. I don't know what the seam allowance is off the top of my head, but it's mostly serged. You can make almost the whole thing on the serger. You would just need to be able to top stitch straight.
All right, so that's the other cover up, and I'll move this out of the way so you can, if you want to tell them any more about like what this is made out of.
Well, this one was just really nice, and we had it on a model that we use often in Vegas, and he wore it with just some nice chino pants, like a linen maybe. Maybe it was a linen pant, and this is a hemp twill, so it's got a lot of fluidity to it, and he just looks super handsome and very casual, very upscale resort look. So that was fun. That's a fun one.
And then this is one of our most asked about Bajas.
And this is one that I've told you several times, so forgive me if it's a repeat for some of you who are here regularly. But this was from Koos van den Ecker's workroom, the inspiration of this garment. And that's when he was fusing fabrics together to make them reversible. So this is a print on the outside and a plaid on the inside. And so we fused the fabrics together and then sewed it as one. And so the inside of the hood, when you put the hood down, you can see the plaid in the hood. And you can almost see the plaid through the other fabric in some of the solid places.
Just like this.
And that was kind of what he was doing at the time. So this was came back from New York and I had to try it.
Yeah, it almost, having that plaid underneath almost makes it, the two fabrics be a new fabric.
Right, exactly.
You have like this subtle plaid, so the plaid has the pink in the green, and the pink is obviously coming through more than the green because this side is also green.
But anyways, it was just a fun experiment to try. I would try it again.
Yeah,
it was fun.
And then you have your traditional sweatshirt fleece. So this is just...
Yep, just a basic sweatshirt fleece. And this is an excellent, if you're sewing for teenagers, they love these. Because they're just easy. They wear hoodies all the time, hoodie sweatshirts and things. So this is just a another version. And of course, if you do it in some campy fabric like these skulls or something that they really like, and I always advise particularly grandmothers and mothers, but grandmothers especially because we're further removed from this generation, take your cue from either ready to wear as far as prints and colors, or ask, better yet, ask the child. Because once they're invested and they've found a fabric or a color or something they like, then your work is going to a good purpose because they're more likely to wear it.
Yeah. Okay, couple questions back to the fused one. How did you finish the seams? So Sophie asked, on the reversible, how are the seams finished? So it's not reversible. It's just a technique of fusing the fabric together.
Yes. I might have misled you when I said that's what Kuz was doing to make things reversible, but his was a different style garment. This kind of garment wasn't going to work as a reversible, but it still worked to add two fabrics together, a print and a plaid, to make them work well together.
Yeah, and then Connie asked, how did you fuse the material?
That Sullivan's. So you can, that big pink can. You can buy this right at Joann Fabrics or online. A lot of sources have it. You could use 3M has a product too, but this one definitely is for fabric. It definitely washes out and it's repositionable. So you can spray the fabric, put it down, and you get a little wrinkle or something, you can peel it up and smooth it back out. So I love this stuff. I also use 3M, but 3M has two products. One is a spray glue and one is a spray mount. The mount is repositionable and it will work on fabric. But if you have both of them in your office and one day grab the wrong one, your garment will be ruined and also stiff as the board. Ask me how I know. So I've switched over to the Sullivans because now I don't make the mistake.
Yeah, 3M doesn't come in a pink can.
No.
And then last week I was wearing, because
Oh,
so
the
far all
linen
these
one.
have hoods. Last week I was wearing the linen that didn't have a hood, so you don't have to put a hood on it.
Right, you could just create a back facing and you don't need a hood. So that's another option. You could actually eliminate the hood and put a collar on.
Yeah.
Nothing says you can't put a collar on or a little band collar. There's lots of options.
Yeah. I just realized all of them have hoods because it's like, who doesn't want a hood?
Well,
But for that linen one that I was wearing last week, it really is very nice without the hood. And then you can, dress it up a little
it's more
bit
of a tunic. Yeah, you could wear some jewelry and some pretty sandals and it'd be dressier. This is one we did, and you may have heard this story, but we did this as a look for less. There was a garment. Oh, I don't remember who the ready-to-wear person was or company was, but I mean, they were selling something like this for a couple of grand. Really, I'm not kidding. And I took a look at that, and I said, with our Baja pattern, I can make that for $45. And I went out and bought some sweater knit and some faux suede and trimmed it. It's very similar in that it's a sweater knit and a little bit of a suede cloth on it to the original one that we found, and we saved a lot of money. So you can always do the look for less, and that's what this whole exercise has been about. Now some of you have made changes to patterns for the first time, and look, it was successful. Now you can continue that process, and when you see something that is ridiculously priced and you go, well, I've got a pattern, I can make that. And the same old story. I remember when I first started out and I'd be interviewed by radio or TV people, and the first thing they would always ask me is, so you sew to save money? So how much money did you save on that outfit? And as you know, and I know, that's a little insulting because that isn't the only reason we sew, and it's certainly not the main reason anymore. Now, 75 years ago, yeah, people sewed to save money, and obviously they could do that. But today we sew because we enjoy it, because it's relaxing, and because it's a creative outlet. And then some of us sew because we can't get a fit otherwise. Now, forgive me, I'm trying to think of who it was, but one of our regulars here, speak up if you know I'm talking about you, but she just created a pair of pants that fit beautifully for her 6 foot tall daughter who as an adult has never had a pair of pants that fit right. They're either going to be too short in the length or too short in the crotch or whatever. And so they're ecstatic that they got pants to fit this 6 foot tall lady. And so some of us sew for that reason. But for whatever reason we sew, you can save money if you're copying high-end designer wear. If you're going to copy a Chanel or a Donna Karan, you're going to save money. Then you can say, yeah, I saved money. I saved $1,000 making this outfit. Not that I would have gone out and paid $1,500 for the outfit, but if you want to look at it that way, then you can say, yeah, I saved some money.
All right. So those are some more examples from you. Hopefully they give you some inspiration. If you have any questions on them, feel free to put them in the comments. We just want to give you as many tools as possible to be successful in your recreation of the Baja. We're very excited to see.
Yeah, we want to see what you do. And if you're not inspired at this very particular pattern, we hope we're inspiring you to maybe make modifications to another pattern at another time, or seeing something in a ready-to-wear store and thinking, I can go home and by just changing the sleeve and the length on XYZ pattern, I can make that same.
And this is a great one to start with. I love that Sherry said this is the first time she's made modifications to a pattern, because this is a really easy pattern, and you know, if something doesn't work out, you can just try something else, and you haven't really, it's not like there's no coming back from this.
Right.
And just make a few little changes and give yourself the confidence to do more next time.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so if you have any questions on them, still feel free to put them in the comments. I know there's a little bit of a lag. But when Janet and I were talking about what else we're going to do this week, what are we going to talk about, we realized we really haven't had a sale lately. And we haven't we've mentioned it, but we haven't really talked about how excited we are to have USBs now. So when Margaret started the company, she had her information on VHSs.
Yes, she did.
Janet has since moved them to DVDs. So we still have our DVDs. We no longer have the VHSs. Sorry if that's how you're watching things. I doubt it, since you're here with us on Facebook. So Janet has went through a lot of work to move those over to the DVDs. And again, she's done her research and has put a lot of work into also with the DVDs having them on USBs.
Yes, and so I don't know if you've seen them, but we're really happy with them. As a matter of fact, we had, if you read our newsletter, you know one of our customers, followers, bought several things, including 2 USBs. And this is what they look like. Little blue. Yeah. And each one has the Islander logo on one side and then the title on the other. So they're all going to look alike, except for you flip them over and you see the title. But anyway, she wrote and told us how disappointed she was that her USBs were not in the package, that she had clearly ordered them and they had not arrived. And then the next day she wrote back and said, I apologize, because when she went to get her grandson up that morning, she found both of them in his bed. He's 4, and he thought they were so cute that they must be for him, so he took them. And Brenda and I, we laughed so hard because we both have 4-year-old grandsons, and we could definitely see that happening. So anyway, They're very pretty. They're all, like I said, they're all blue. We have 8 different titles. And so these are so convenient that you can plug them right into the side of your laptop or computer and always have all of this fabulous, stellar information. And I will tell you that when Margaret created these, I think it was the early 80s, in VHS, of course. And to this date, that information is still as stellar as it ever was, and we've never had one complaint. Not one complaint. Not one person say, I want my money back. It didn't live up to what you said. Moreover, what we've had is people that had VHSs would write me and say, please, I have these VHSs, but my VHS player has broken, and I no longer can play them. What can I do? Well, when we created the DVDs, we said, hey, we'll do a trade-in program for you. And we did this special trade-in program, and they were ecstatic because of all the DVDs or VHSs that they'd ever purchased in their sewing career, the Islander Sewing Systems ones were the ones they didn't want to go by the wayside. And the reason for that, I'll just give one more quick commercial, is because when Margaret did these, it was very important to her to do a very ethical product, so she repeated nothing. There's no commercials, there's no jokes, there's no long trunk shows or anything like that. Everything is education throughout.
Oh, so she stayed on topic.
Yes. Well, some people in our family can do that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so she did stay on topic. She stayed on, and her work is beautiful. And like I said, to this date, all these years later, not one complaint, not one return, nothing. The only thing is, oh my gosh, I can't play my VHS. How am I going to hang on to this information? So anyways, I want to tell you a little bit about what's in each one of these titles. And then Jessica will give you the good news.
Okay, so real quick, I just want to touch on a couple things I know I showed you. So they all look the same on the front with the Islander logo. Focus. And then on the back, it will have the title. And Jillian says, I prefer the DVDs only because then my kids can't lose them as easy as the USBs. So 2 important things. We have a ring on the bottom here. Focus, camera, focus. So that you can put them on a ring together if you have multiple of them. Also, they can't be written over, correct?
Correct. We put a special protection on these so that if a kid was to pick these up and they wanted to quick copy their friends' pictures or their homework or whatever, they can't do it. It's completely denied. So
that doesn't mean they still won't take it and then toss it aside when they can't use it, Jillian, but they can't write, nobody can write over them, so
right.
We know that.
Right. So, but we have both forms still, so let's start with the first. Well, I'm going to do them in chronological order of the way that they were created. So when Margaret started out teaching all up and down the West Coast, she taught 2 very important classes, and that was the Islander Sewing Systems 1. And this is the one, is Industrial Sewing Techniques Adapted for Home Sewing. So this is the no pins, no basting, no kitting class. And I'm excited that we named it that because that really tells what it is, more so than Islander Sewing Systems 1 or Industrial Shortcuts. People didn't really relate to that as much as no pins, no basting, no kitting. So all of that semester's worth of information is on this DVD. And those of you who took no pins, no basting, no kitting recently got about a third of what's on here. So if you want more and you want to have the actual video so you can own that, and this is all done by Margaret, so this is Margaret, that would be Islander Sewing Systems 1. It's a 2-hour DVD, so it's our most expensive, along with Islander Sewing Systems 2, which would have been the second semester with Margaret at college, and that would take you through a shirt. So all the techniques for making a 2-piece collar men's button-down shirt. if you've taken my shirt class on Craft Seed, then this is going to be very similar. So just so you know. And those are both 2-hour DVDs and our most popular. Our next most popular is our Easy Pant Drafting and Sloper Making. So this DVD or USB was created by Margaret, and it comes with a book. And this is the workbook for drafting your own pant pattern. And this is what you come out with, is a pant pattern at the end. And all the information in the DVD and book will tell you how to turn that pattern either into a sloper or an actual pant pattern. Add pockets, add waistbands, tucks, pleats, etc. So this is an extremely popular. And again, that's on USB. Then Margaret did a series of 4 that are called Galaxy series. So there's Galaxy 1, Galaxy 2, Galaxy 3, and Galaxy 4. So Galaxy 1, let's see, where am I? Galaxy 1 takes you through some techniques where you're actually going to use some pins. Like for a high cap sleeve that has a lot of easing at the top, you've got to use a few pins for that, but you don't need to use 70-11. You can use far less. So she shows you how to do that. She also goes through tucks and pleats. And one of my favorites on this number 1 is the no gap neckline. So if you like to wear maybe a V-neck and it's not necessarily a knit, and it kind of falls away from the body and you tip forward and you are exposed. The way that she shows you how to make the facing and ease the top to the facing and make the facing cup to your body, and then that never happens again. And it's just a simple little tip, but it is a great technique to use. She also has, was that one? Yeah, a beautiful couture pant, lined pant in here. Absolutely exquisite. And she developed the technique for a very special high-end client that wanted a lined pant. And so then that's number 1. And you can read on the website what's all included in each one of these. I'm just giving you some highlights. This Galaxy 2, if you missed the bound buttonhole class, it's in here. So it's in Galaxy 2, along with Margaret's answer to Stitch in the Ditch, which is not Stitch in the Ditch, but it creates the same effect, but it lays flatter. Inset yokes, pattern changes, specialty hems, and some of these are going to be hand stitched. Sharp pleat hemming, factory methods for Western yokes, and a ton of other stuff. So that's number 2. Number 3, simple mitering. Now, in Industrial Shortcuts 1, and we did not get to that in our online class yet, but we teach you how to do a double mitering, which means it's mitered on the top side and on the back side, exactly the same, and it's a little mathematical system. It works every time. Well, Margaret liked that so much on a square corner. In Galaxy 3, she shows you how to do it on all different angles. So if you were going to do a mitered binding on a collar, and the collar was a 2-piece collar and it wasn't a square angle, wasn't a 90-degree angle, you could do that. There's more bound buttonholes for lightweight, crisp fabrics in this one. Altering collars and necklines. Turning your pant pattern into a perfectly fitting no side seam pant is another thing that's on that. Okay, number 4. Quick, easy, perfect corded buttonholes. You know who did corded buttonholes? Sandra Stratton, but hers isn't up yet. You're going to see corded buttonholes on one of the new Baja challenges. Perfect trim insertion, machine smocking, which is kind of cool. Spun cording, turning your favorite skirt into a cool lot, lots of other stuff. So that's Galaxy 4. Those are all great, and like I said, some of the techniques are going to be using hand stitching or pinning as opposed to the Industrial Shortcuts series. And then last but not least in our series of DVDs and USBs is easy zippers. And many of you have seen me put a zipper in 90 seconds. And the video's on, well, it's on our Facebook page and it's on our YouTube channel as well. That's a slot zipper that you see me. But in this body of work, you're going to see a lap zipper, an invisible zipper, a traditional fly, and a mock fly, and they're all done without pins or basting. And I created this DVD with a friend and associate of mine by the name of Rosebud, and she had worked in a garment factory putting invisible zippers in knits. So she really knew her stuff, so we collaborated on this one. So that's all 8 titles. And if you buy all 8, you get a pretty little silk organza bag. And but you can buy 1, 2, you can build your collection as you go. We'll never get rid of this information. This will be around long after I'm gone because it is such great information for a home sewer.
Now, Marlene's asking, do you know if it will play on the TV, if the TV has a USB outlet?
I have not tried that. I don't know the answer to that because some USB ports are not for showing video. They're for other things.
Right.
So you'd have to check your TV manual. But if that USB port is made for playing video, which I would think it might be for it's in a TV, like a smart TV, then yes, it will work.
Yeah, we don't know.
Sorry.
Marlene also said that she has a zipper DVD. Yowza. I wish I'd known these techniques 50 years ago. And that is really, truly a comment we get over and over. Valerie said, I can't recommend the zipper DVD highly enough. It really is something that we hear over. And it's like, oh, I know how to do that. A lot of people will say, you know, oh, I know how to put those in. Then they see the techniques of the Islander sewing system and are like,
what?
I can't believe I've wasted all this time.
You know, we're not just showing you, you know, you get your zipper package and it tells you to baste up the seam and then pin the zipper in place and then hand baste the zipper in place and then do this and do that. We don't do those things. But our technique is slicker and more efficient, but so is the method. So what we take you through in that DVD is why and how to interface the seam allowance when you're putting a zipper in. You just don't, it should have interfacing in almost every fabric. Why the zipper foot, the size and shape of the zipper foot could be the difference between a successful zipper and a snake trail zipper, like a seam that goes like this. And a lot of times you're struggling with zippers and it's not your fault. So you'll learn in that DVD or that USB where you might be going wrong and what the little tools and tips that are simple, there's no expense or magic to it, that you could employ, and then zippers become just the same as sewing up any other seam. You stop avoiding it. You stop trying to find patterns that don't have zippers in them.
Well, that's what Jillian said. The zipper DVD is super amazing. Before I got it, I used to avoid zippers and just use buttons instead. Now she enjoys doing zippers.
Yeah, I know. I even had a woman write me one time, and after she did, she said that. She said, I avoided all patterns with zippers, and now I'm looking for patterns that might have more zippers.
More zippers. Right, yeah, of all the zippers. Yeah. You have to make one of those, like, kid books.
Yeah.
Like the busy books with, like, here's this zipper, here's this zipper.
Or one of those traveling coats with all the zipper pockets, you know, for your passport.
Oh, yeah, one of the Marsha McClinton
safety
pockets.
Safety pockets,
yeah. Okay, so, because we're so excited about these USBs, and we haven't had a sale
item in a few weeks. We've been so busy with this Baja inspiration.
We are going to put all the USBs on sale. You're going to need a code for this one. So first, I just want to let you know, any of the collections or any of the bundles of the of the USBs are already discounted. So your code won't work on those, but any single USB is going to be 15% off. Now, when you go to the website, and I'm going to put the link in right now, all the pictures will be of the DVD. All you're going to want to do is on each title, you can choose DVD or USB. You're going to want to choose USB.
You'll be prompted. You have to choose one or the other, so you won't make a mistake, hopefully.
USB, 15% off with the code USB 2021, and I will put that in the comments too.
So on the website, you're going to see two collections, one of 7 DVDs, that's everything but the zipper, and then 8 with the zipper. Those are already discounted by 20%. So if you want to buy the whole collection, that's the best price and the best way to go. But if you only wanted to buy a handful or 2 or 3 or just one, this is a great time to do it and get that discount. So you don't have to just buy one. You could buy 4 or 5 and still get the 15% off. But if you're going to go for the 7 or 8, the better price is the collection.
If you want to get them all at once. So we're really excited about that. Hopefully you can find something on there, get a good sale price.
Yeah. No, I
feel like there might be some zipper purchases.
Well, these are our favorite thing to sell because nobody else has this information. This is proprietary information because when Margaret went to work in a garment factory, she was a home sewer. And as she learned these techniques, well, she didn't go to work in a factory. She went to a training center. But anyway, when she learned these techniques, she realized that with very little finessing, she could teach these to home sewers. And the home sewers would be as ecstatic as she was because she was a home sewer. So she knew. You know when your contemporaries are going to love it as much as you do. You're over the moon. And that's why she developed the system and started out with just doing a class curriculum and eventually in the early 80s put them on the VHS, like Jessica said, and the rest is history. And we continue to teach what she taught us and add some of our own to it. So,
all right. So if you have any questions about any of the products Janet talked about today, if you have questions about your Baja entry, or maybe you're stuck on something and need some advice, email islandersewing@comcast.net. That's the best way to get to Janet. If you are having trouble uploading your Baja picture to our Facebook page, you can feel free to email or send a message to our Facebook account, and I can help you with that. But any technical questions about the products, your order, what you're working on, definitely use email. We will reply to the Facebook post, but not as quickly as the email. So that's where you want to send those questions. But if you just need help getting that picture loaded onto the Facebook page, you can shoot a message on Facebook or the email.
And when you put that picture up, it's like any post you put on Facebook. You'll have a place to say something about it. So please do. If nothing more, just give us a list of what changes you made. But if you've got some advice, something that worked really well or didn't, throw that in there too, because that's what we're here for, is to inspire each other and teach each other. And little known fact, as a teacher, every time I teach a class, I learn something. So it's not just the students that learn. It's all of us. We learn about a new product or a new technique or a new website or a new something. And so we're all being inspired and we're all learning here. And that's what we like Tuesdays at 2 to be all about. We didn't talk about YouTube today. We should remind everybody.
Yep, we do have our new YouTube channel, and Brenda has been uploading the videos on there. It's getting big fast, and you can find us now just by searching Islander Sewing Systems. It should be the first thing that comes up. So subscribe to us there, and you'll know whenever Brenda uploads a new video. She has playlists of content. So, for
Yeah.
example, our sew-alongs will all be together, so you don't have to search through everything. And yeah.
Yeah, we put our weekly show up there sometime after it airs. So it might be today, it might be tomorrow. But so those are all going up there. But yeah, the sew-alongs are up there and they're titled accordingly. So you don't have to search through the Facebook page to find those.
But we are still keeping everything on Facebook
Yep,
too, if that's
so
how you prefer.
It's in both places. But please invite your friends to come on to Facebook and YouTube and join the fun. Tell them that, how exciting we are and what you're learning. And
Well, don't lie to them.
we're exciting. We're exciting. For sewers, we are. Okay, anyway, please invite your sewing friends, guild members, sewing community that you're involved with to join you and watching Tuesdays at 2 or our Facebook channel.
Yeah.
We like that.
All right, so we will be back next week with what? I don't know. Oh, no, we might actually know. How about that?
But we're not telling.
No, just in case. You never know.
We could change our minds, and that has happened.
And we look forward to seeing you. Hopefully we have some more entries to talk about next week. Okay, so next Tuesday at 2 Eastern Time.
Get your USBs 15% off for 1 week.
Yes.
Through this Tuesday and next week.
Yep.
Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
everybody.
See ya.
Happy sewing.